Claude Code has been exploding for the past 3 months, but to be honest, I haven't seen a proper tutorial on how to get the most out of it. That's why I decided to make this tutorial showing you step by step how you can master Claude Code better than 90% of the people out there in just under 20 minutes. I have been a software engineer for the past 6 years and an engineer for the past 2 of them, so let me quickly show you how you can work with Claude Code. The first thing you actually want to do is to download Visual Studio Code. This is the tool that will help you to work with Claude Code in the easiest way possible. So just write on Google Visual Studio Code, click on the link here and download it. It's straightforward, so don't worry about the process. Now that we've opened Visual Studio Code, first thing you want to do is to open a new folder. For the purpose of this video, I've created this new working with Claude Code folder. And next, what you want to do is you want to click on extensions and write Claude Code right here. After that, you should click on Claude Code for VS Code and just install the extension. It's pretty straightforward. One last thing that I want to mention is that to use Claude Code, you actually need to have a paid subscription on Anthropic. So either Pro or Max plan, just get a paid subscription and you can use Claude Code. Continuing on Visual Studio Code, every time the first thing that you'd want to do when starting a new Claude Code project is to actually put your cloud.md file. This is basically a text file that acts as your system prompt. It tells Claude Code the instructions and how to approach each project. And this is the CloudMD prompt that I'll use for the purpose of this project. Here we are using the 3-layer architecture. So our first layer are the workflows. You can think for the workflows as instructions that your Claude Code have. So each workflow is specific procedure or instruction on how to perform specific actions. There you define the inputs, the outputs, the goal, and the tools that this workflow would have access to. And the tools are the actual individual files, be it Python scripts, JavaScript files, or everything else that acts as individual action, and we combine those actions into sequential actions, let's say. These are our workflows actually. And for the final layer, which is the orchestration layer, the strategic brain that will act on how to perform and execute those workflows. Down here we have more operating principle, more instructions for our Claude Code, etc. I don't want to go into details because this is just one of the many frameworks that we can use for our Claude Code. Of course, it depends on the project which framework you'd want to use. This is just the most popular one. That's why I'll use it for the purpose of this video. Now it's time to open Claude Code. So the easiest way to do that is either you have a button here, but sometimes you won't have this button, so just go here or just click Ctrl+Shift+P and it will open for you. And now write Claude Code open and just click Claude Code open in new tab. Boom, we have Claude Code open now. By the way, if you're using Claude Code for the first time, you'll be prompted to sign in right here, but it's straightforward, don't worry. You just need to manually connect your Claude Code to your Anthropic account. It takes around 30 seconds, so it's straightforward. Now that we've opened Claude Code, we want to go on planning mode. And the next step when you're working with Claude Code is to give it very detailed instructions on what you're actually trying to achieve. What you can do is to actually go to Claude or ChatGPT, it doesn't matter, write brief description of what you're trying to achieve and tell the LLM to transfer it to a useful prompt for Claude Code, which means basically more detailed prompt with all of the tools that you actually need. Right here I've pasted a detailed prompt about building a competitive intelligence dashboard, which basically scrapes pre-competitor URLs. It scrapes their pricing feature. Those are gonna be SaaS URLs. So let's see how Claude Code performs this task. Here you can see that it's already thinking and grouping individual tasks. You can see what changes it makes. Another thing that Claude Code does is in the process, it asks you more questions to know the exact approach that you'd want to take, or sometimes it asks you for permission to use different tools that you've already connected or you want to connect. In this case, I'll just click the recommended ones. And by the way, if you don't want to be asked by Claude for every single action it wants to perform, you can go in your Claude Code extension settings and just check this allow bypass permissions mode. When this is checked, you can go right down here and switch to bypass permissions. Now it will ask you only for the mandatory actions it needs to take. Now we can see that Claude Code has outlined the whole implementation plan. We have the context, the project structure, the core components, our dependencies, configuration, and basically everything that we'd need for the purpose of creating this demo project. And by the way, 99% of the times Claude Code makes you a to-do list like this one here. So this is a shared to-do list between you and Claude Code. Basically, Claude Code implements whatever it can from these lists, and when it's time for example, to give it an API key or something like that, Claude Code prompts you to execute this item and then proceeds with implementing the rest of the plan. And as you can see, guys, our tool is ready. There are lots of things here, but let me go step by step. So after Claude Code did all to-do tasks in his list, he wrote me an implementation guide on how to install it on my side. So the next steps, I needed to install the dependencies and to set up my Google Sheets API. So Claude Code actually installed the dependencies for me. I just gave him access, and I also followed those steps here. So I've put the credentials.json right here, and he had access to my Google Sheets and Google Drive also. Then I tested it out, and I actually found the results weren't that good. So when the tool had to work with 3 URLs at once, it actually gave very bad results. Right here, I prompted it to actually process 1 website at a time instead of 3, and just append the results into our Google Sheet. And here it did the changes for the new approach. It wrote me what were the changes and how can I test it now. So I put an email finder, which is basically a tool to find emails of companies and people to test it out, and it just took a few seconds and it appended me the email finder results in this Google Sheet right here. Everything happened automatically. This is the Google Sheet that Claude Code has generated for us. We have company, tier, price, features, and the date that the SaaS was scraped at. So it's not perfect, as you can see, but we were able to create these two in just 5 minutes. So I think this is pretty good. Of course, if you want this to actually be a production ready, we have to iterate it over and over until we fix some of the things, like extract only the name of the SaaS here instead of the title in the tab. But yeah, you saw the point. It's very easy to work with Claude Code and very easy to create MVPs from scratch. There is one more important thing about Claude Code that I want to talk about, and it is Claude Code skills. What are skills? Well, the skills in Claude Code are basically predefined procedures that Claude Code follows that are already connected to external tools. So let's say you want to connect Claude Code with Canva, you want it to have the ability to create Canva presentations or just simple images. This skill here can do all of that, and you just need to put 1 line of code to install it. And to make you a quick demo on how Cloud skills work, I'll use the Telegram notification skill, which basically gives us the ability to send Telegram notifications to ourselves whenever Claude Code finishes working on the current prompt that we've given it. To set it up, we just need to copy this line of code right here, come back to Claude Code in our Visual Studio and just paste it and add "please install this skill for me," and click the arrow. And now Claude Code is installing the skill for us. So for the purpose of testing this skill, I created a new bot in Telegram, and I've copied the bot token and bot chat ID to test it out. I provided it to Claude Code here in Visual Studio Code, and now it's time to test it out. So do a test run for me, click enter. So I tried to test out the skill, and actually I have used the wrong chat ID. Claude Code found from our previous conversations in the past my real chat ID, changed it, and now it works correctly. And here is how the notification in Telegram looks. Again, we can customize it more, but it takes 1 minute of setup to have automatic notifications in your Telegram when Claude Code finishes work. And believe me, this is very useful when you start working with Claude Code more and more. You sometimes forgot to check it, to approve something, so it's very useful. Alright, we've already covered how to write good Cloud MD system prompts, why it is important and why it's important to follow a specific framework, and we've also covered Claude Code skills. You are already ahead of 90% of the people using Claude Code. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more videos like those, drop a comment down below. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. It really helps me a ton. See you in the next one.